members, the reason we have to do this is because of significant change seating arrangements on the other side of the House. Effectively, when the member for New England moved to the crossbench, it had not occurred to us at the time that the entire National Party was going to move to the crossbench with him. And while he's not their leader, they appear to be his followers in the pathway over there. We end up with a new seating arrangement here. We still have the traditional crossbench over in the corner there. But we now have the cross, the very cross, and the apoplectic, all in front of us here. How long did it take you to come up with this arrangement? Like, seriously? I mean, the one who just interjected was one of the people who over summer was saying, got to get the parliament here quickly, got to get the parliament here quickly, got to legislate straight away, got to implement the whole of the anti-Semitism report straight away. The moment he gets here, the exact person interjecting now, oh, it's all too fast. Oh, can you slow down? And these bits from the anti-Semitism report, oh, can you just not go ahead with that, please? Can you not implement those? Or those at the back there saying, can you split the bill? Can you please split the bill so we can vote against it twice? Because that's a position they ended up with, effectively opposing any measures of change as a result of the horrors that happened with the anti-Semitic terrorist attack in Bondi. We end up with a situation now where it was, go back to Billy Hughes with "you got to draw the line somewhere," would join every party except the predecessor of the National Party. But where did the National Party decide to draw the line? On the bit of the legislation that would ban the Nazis. Like, of all the hills to die on, that's the one that made them decide they couldn't possibly remain part of the coalition anymore. They couldn't possibly stay there because of the part of the legislation that would ban the Nazi Party. And effectively, the Nazis saw it coming, and we had two strong reactions to that part of legislation. The Nazis dissembled themselves and the Nationals dissembled the coalition. And those were the reactions that we had on both. Now, there's a number of things that change as a result. While the Speaker wasn't willing to oblige in terms of reading out the names of the committees, there's a whole series of committees where you have opposition members defined as members. So anyone who was a Nat in any of those committees has now immediately been forced to leave. They're no longer eligible because they're not members of the coalition. Now, we could restructure the committees this week. I just have no idea what the arrangements on that side will be in 7 days' time. And I don't want to be in a situation where the committee process of this House is completely left hostage to the chaos and the indulgence of the coalition. Well, the former coalition, and in fact I might remind you, Speaker, now that there is no longer a coalition, the term no-alition should be completely in order now, because it is not the official name of any of them in any permutation whatsoever. So we're not changing the committees today. At some point we might have to, because now the number of people on the crossbench is 28 and the number of people in the opposition is 28. Now, it has happened before. It happened in the early 1930s, but it has not happened since then that we've had a situation where the crossbench has managed to rival the opposition in this House. So what we will change today are the order of questions for question time. Effectively, we can't have a situation where we only have, in terms of, while the sessional order goes for a much longer period of time, very often we end up with 9 questions or 10 questions aside, and effectively that would mean at the moment under the sessional order, the crossbench, which occupies half of the non-government benches, would in fact only get 3 of the questions. So we need to be able to change the sessional orders as a result of that. The change that we're doing is the first question will still be from the opposition, but then it will alternate from this part of the non-government benches to that part, and it'll go back and forth for the first 8 non-government questions. And then we have the second set of 8 under the sessional order, where it alternates but starts with the crossbench going back and forth. So how long this will last, I don't know. Watching the media, I don't know if we're moving to a situation where the crossbench in fact starts to become larger than the opposition. I see members of the crossbench nodding, but you might not want the ones you get. I'd be careful what you wish for. It's when we talked about the growth of the crossbench last time, you never expected this one was going to happen. So this is the only practical way to be able to deal with the chaos that we have from those opposite. As I say, maybe I have to come back in a week's time and do another sessional order. Maybe not. Maybe we end up with a situation where there's a tradition that the opposition always get the first question. We've kept that here, but no one who watches Australian politics and who is still alive has seen this before in terms of being a close watching of Australian politics. And the concept that two parties who are unable to govern their relationship with each other in any sort of adult way could be credibly considered to govern an entire nation just beggars belief. Just beggars belief. And those opposite, when I first arrived here, it was the Howard government, disagreed with a lot of what they were doing, but they were formidable and they were unified. And to see the disaster that is before us now is something which is extraordinary, I will say unexpected, and we will continue to update the procedures as the mayhem from those opposite demands.